Welcome back to MurrayMax. We have a video here with Andrew Wilson where he's on the Whatever podcast, and he's debating somebody who is described as being a woke guy. The comments are calling him much worse, that's for sure. I wanted to make a video about this one because I was reading the comments when I saw the thumbnail for it, and it looked like there was some entertaining conflict here in this debate. So, as usual, I haven't watched it yet. We're going to watch it together. Let me know in the comments what you think.
Pure dating podcast.
Dating is about your preferences, anecdotes, experiences.
Yeah, it's about how many pumps after she says stop is grape. That's a dating podcast?
Do you think that when people...
Hold on, answer that question, Andrew.
I'll answer it.
I don't think you are.
You have to stop talking. I can't answer it. So stop talking,
okay,
and I'll answer it. Is it the case that when you have... half a dozen people who are sitting at a table and they're building a rapport with each other, that they crack jokes?
You think that's a joke?
Yeah.
How many pumps after a woman says stop is it grape is a joke?
Yeah.
Who laughs at that?
Lots of people. I think it's funny.
I'm not surprised you think it's funny. I think you think it's funny. I'm sure you think it's funny.
It is funny. Do you know why it's funny? What makes it funny?
The only note I'll make real quick here on this part is you'll never really see conservatives or people right of center or even sometimes in the center who tell people what is and isn't funny. Now, whether you think that that kind of topic is funny or not is kind of irrelevant. It's always these leftists, these woke idiots that are at comedy shows and their arms crossed and pouting and then watching these clips on Instagram Reels that everybody from Jeff Dye to any other stand-up comedian, they're just going, I missed it, this isn't funny, we shouldn't laugh at this, and it's like, just keep scrolling.
Because you're a little misogynistic.
No. It's because a feminist on this program a few months ago.
I remember. I saw it.
Yeah. So So it's a callback to that.
It's not a callback to that.
Yeah, it's a callback to that
because that was not about stopping.
Yeah, it was about consent.
Yeah, but that was about your wife sleeping and you banging her while she's sleeping. It's about
consent.
But that does. If she says stop and you keep going, is that consent?
The idea there is how long after are you violating consent? That's the idea.
Yeah, that's a dating podcast topic, right?
Yeah, of course.
No, yeah, of course. People talk about that all the time, right?
Do you think that in this modern age, where intersexual and interpersonal dynamics between men and women are so fucked up, and they are fucked up.
And you're contributing.
Right? Do you think that the idea, when you have tons of people who are out there talking about consent, that you have feminist academics who are talking about if two people are drunk and they have sex, they're actually technically raping each other, right? Do you really think that these are inappropriate questions to ask during a dating podcast in modernity?
I absolutely believe it's inappropriate to say how many pumps after a woman says stop is it grape.
Yeah, why?
That is inappropriate.
Why?
Because it should just be after she says stop.
Tell me how many.
I'm not going to answer that question.
You're not going to answer it?
No, because it's a stupid ass question.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a fair question.
Of course you do, because you're misogynistic.
What's misogynistic about it?
Because that is grape. You're talking about grape in such a lighthearted manner.
How does that?
I just answered the question.
How does that?
This guy is already on here just to be loud and passionate about feelings. He's not using any logical consistencies from the get-go. And even like the topic that Andrew just mentioned about how if two people are drunk, it's considered to be the R word. The left will even tell you if the man and the woman are drunk, the man is at fault. If the woman is more drunk than the man is at fault. If the man is more drunk than the woman is at fault. It's complete, just logical inconsistencies.
Prove I hate women.
Dude, we can go down the list of things you've said.
Look, go down the list.
Out of your 5,000 debates.
Go down the list.
Do you like women at all?
Love them.
Oh, you love them.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know how I know?
It's so funny to talk about grape.
You know how I know?
It's so funny.
Do you know how I know I like them more than you?
The fact that you would laugh at a grape question shows that you don't like women.
I laugh. Oh, hang on. Are you saying I hate men because I laugh about prison grape?
No, you don't hate men.
I don't get it, though. That's a double standard.
I've heard
you don't hate men. You love men. You only care about men.
So if I make light of a man getting raped,
you don't see
that's fine.
You don't see it the same.
And it's not.
You don't see it the same.
Another logical inconsistency. To claim that Andrew hates women. Sorry, I paused it right here for you, Andrew. To say that Andrew hates women because he'll joke about a specific topic in regards to women, but that he doesn't hate men and loves men because he'll also joke about that same topic applied to men. This is what I'm talking about, where it's all feelings and no logic.
How do I see it? You tell me.
Because you see women as so much less than.
Prove it. I'm looking for the demonstration, not the assertion.
Just watch Andrew's videos. Just watch Andrew's videos. Just watch Andrew's videos.
Just watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no proof, no evidence. Just watch.
Yeah, no, I'm making it up. I'm making it up.
So just tell me real quick, how can you affirm that I hate women because I might make light of a grape joke for women, but I don't hate men if I make light of a grape joke for men?
I'm not sure.
You know, I know you're not sure because that makes no fucking sense.
Okay.
So moving on to the next one. As we go through this, whether women should vote. So, in modernity, women's voting habits, right, have a lot to do with the modern state of society, don't they?
Sure.
And they have to do with the state of people who want maybe patriarchy, or they want highly religious women who allow men to lead, or women who will turn over their ability to vote to their own husband and say, you just tell me where to vote.
Yeah.
You agree with all of that?
Sure.
Okay, so then why wouldn't it be pertinent to ask women what they think about women's voting patterns and voting habits?
Because you talk about revoking the right for women to vote.
So
it's just an easy conversation that people have. Should women vote? That's just something that people talk about around their dinner table, right?
It's okay. Do you think that was an easy conversation when you were talking about whether or not it was okay for white women to date black men?
I think what was an easy conversation?
That conversation.
Sure.
Pre-miscegenation was a pretty hard conversation,
sure, yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. But do you think that it was pertinent to dating at the time?
Sure.
Okay. So then if that was pertinent to dating at the time and they were talking about all the reasons you should or shouldn't do this,
the dangers
and it's
of
a political ideology,
yeah,
on both sides, right? Why is it not appropriate for us to have a conversation about women's voting patterns when it comes to relationships?
It's not women's voting patterns. It's should women vote.
Yeah.
That's not about patterns.
Yeah, it is.
That is the question about women.
Well, how would
voting.
you determine if they should or shouldn't?
That's a good question to ask him, for Andrew to ask in response, because the left always, and woke people always try to play this game where they just fixate on one aspect of something and they pretend like nothing else could be in the larger nuanced conversation about it. They try to pretend like one aspect of it is the only thing that matters, but it's in a context that totally even changes their assertion. And then they'll dodge an explanation of it or whatever because they can't have that one piece to attack you without it. And it's just, it's a very poor way of debating. And anybody who actually has intellectual conversations, when you see it happening, it's just cringy.
Just think everyone should.
Oh, you just think that?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I don't need to.
You don't need to?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is I'll just release you from this. I'll just let you skip out on giving me no justification for why everybody should be able to vote.
I don't need.
But
I
want to know. I would like to know. You don't need one.
I don't need a justification.
I don't need a justification.
Then
I don't need justification to ask a woman if she thinks other women should have the right to vote in order for me to judge whether or not she's a submissive woman or not.
Sure, but that's not a dating topic. That's just you being political.
I want to judge if
that's
she's
just you being
submissive?
Political. You guys push your conservative agenda on this channel, and that's what you do.
Do you think that I want to live in it? Well, I do.
Yeah, you do. And
but
so
it's not my
does
channel.
Jim Bob. I know. Because homie
channel.
just sits back and chills. Brian's chilling. He's eating popcorn while you ask these questions.
Yeah, but I mean, I literally have made...
It's his podcast.
I have
it's a
never made
dating
any
podcast.
qualms that I'm here to represent my worldview.
I know, but it's a dating podcast,
Yeah.
and you're asking these crazy questions.
They're not crazy.
They're absolutely...
No.
Should women vote is a crazy question in 2025.
Can I also ask you this? Do you think that men and women and when they're in relationships get into political arguments often?
Sure.
Constantly, right?
I mean, theoretically, if you're dating somebody with the same values, you're not. But
if you marry a woman and she votes against your vote, would that create marital issues?
Maybe, but I don't think you probably would have ever married that person to begin with because you don't have
probably
the same
not. You know why? Because you asked her what she thought about the right to vote, and she said, "I want women to have the right to vote," and so you didn't fucking marry her. You didn't date her because she doesn't align with you politically. Does that make sense?
Do you know people that do that? Do you know
Yes.
people that say, "I won't marry this woman because she thinks women should vote"?
See, he's already turning what Andrew's saying into what he's not saying. Andrew's basically just saying, yes, you're right. You wouldn't likely be married to somebody like that because in the beginning you would ask them questions to find out where they align politically. And he's just using the women voting as an example. Andrew doesn't believe that his wife shouldn't vote. Andrew believes that voting outcomes are strongly influenced by the way that women tend to vote in a trending way towards liberalism and voting for Democrat candidates. His wife is a conservative. He wants his wife to vote. So he's taking this issue and applying it to Andrew in a way that's not true. And he's also pretending once again that he doesn't understand that what he's implying is that when you're dating or courting somebody or just even getting to know them, you will ask them questions to figure out where they align politically. And if they're too far on the opposite end of the spectrum from you, it may create conflict. And so you know that ahead of time before you get on a knee and ask for marriage. That's all he's saying.
Overly assertive woman who thinks that she's going to be politically dominant in my home, of course.
It has nothing to do about politically dominant. You said, if I ask a woman, do you think women should vote? And she says yes, I'm not going to date that person.
But hang on. But then you ask her why.
No, I don't ask her why.
I know, but if you were going to date her, you should.
No, because I think women should vote.
I know you think that,
and
you're not
don't.
every man who lives.
Wow, how many men don't think women should vote?
I have no idea, but at least a significant.
You think it's a significant amount?
Yeah.
I guarantee this guy on the right, if he was dating a girl or a guy, I'm not sure which way he goes, but if he were trying to date somebody and they said that they loved Trump, if they said that they were pro-life, if they said that they thought Elon was a cool and smart dude, etc., he would probably not want to go on any more dates with them, or he would at least ask them why. When he talks about it's not about dominating politically, that's so funny to hear that from someone who's on the political left, that it's not about dominating politically. I can't even watch an NBA basketball game without politics shoved into it from the left. I can't go watch even a remake of a classic movie that was completely non-political without it all of a sudden having all these politics injected into it. I can't take a class at school, at a university, without politics being injected into it, no matter what the topic or subject is. So politics, I can't even drive a Tesla without somebody attacking it, like literally vandalizing and attacking it for political reasons.
I do.
But give me a percentage.
Of how? I have no idea.
Throw it out. You're a smart guy.
That would be impossible.
Throw it out. You're a smart guy. You can assume how many men. Throw out a number. Throw out a percentage in your gut, in your heart of hearts. How many men don't want women to vote?
I'll throw that out if you throw out how many do.
Okay.
Okay, you first.
How many men want women to vote? I say at least 90%.
Based on?
Men I know.
So nothing.
That's it. Yeah,
so based
nothing.
on anecdotes.
Exactly, just like I'm asking you to do.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't give you one.
Yeah,
because I don't deal in anecdotes.
No, we don't deal in anecdotes at all. You deal in anecdotes all the time. But
no, I don't. Unless you're asking me about something anecdotal.
Okay.
So anyway, there's no reason. There's actually no good reason that you've given me yet for why it's not pertinent inside of a man's dating life if he wants a submissive woman, why she wouldn't be politically aligned with his ideology.
Okay.
So just pointing that out.
Sure.
You actually still haven't given me a reason.
Yeah.
On Sunday's show, you asked, well, I didn't ask this, so I don't know anything about it. How many pumps after a woman says stop before it becomes grape? I didn't ask that.
I know. But that's why this isn't a dating podcast.
Because you made a joke?
That's not a joke.
Yeah, it's a callback joke.
It's not a
very
callback
clear
joke.
to me that that's callback.
It's not clear because it's a totally different scenario.
Okay. Even though... So you really don't think that that's about consent?
I know what the joke was. I remember it was.
I thought it wasn't a joke.
Debate.
I thought it wasn't a joke.
I'm talking about the callback. Okay. I'm saying this is not a joke.
So what makes it not a joke?
Because it's not funny.
Oh, so you don't find it funny? So
nobody found it funny. Nobody was laughing. Not a single person laughed.
So if I go back to that timestamp and I look at it,
please do.
And nobody's going to say anything.
Let's pull it up now.
Nobody's going to say anything.
The only person that kind of chuckled was Brian.
So then it was a joke?
No.
Then why did Brian laugh?
I'm not sure.
Because he thought it was funny?
Perhaps. Like if the joke teller thinks it's funny, that's a problem.
Why?
Because if no one else is laughing except the joke teller, that's a problem.
That just means it's a bad joke, not that it's not a joke.
Okay.
If I tell a boring, lame joke like, why did the chicken cross the road to get the other side, and no one laughs, it means that I shouldn't tell that joke. That's a sign that I'm a bad person. This logic never adds up. It never holds any water.
It's so funny. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, can people tell bad jokes?
Sure.
And nobody laughs?
Yeah, bad jokes about grape.
But if you tell the joke and then you laugh, do you think it was intended as a
dating podcast?
Yeah, do you think it was intended as a joke?
No, I don't.
So why did he laugh?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's very strange.
Maybe out of awkward, maybe out of insecurity, maybe out of all people laugh out in uncomfortable circumstances. You do it all the time.
Yeah,
you do
but,
this, like,
but when I asked
chuckle.
you why, you said because he thought it was funny.
Maybe it's insecurity. I have no idea. Maybe it's
way to
nervous.
Yeah, this guy's going nowhere with his lack of logic. It's just the same thing over and over again. It's so boring and played out. Like, get some actual opinions, get some actual, like, ability to stand on the issues that you're actually trying to, like, argue for and promote. Stop playing these silly games. The whole thing is just played out. This guy sucks. Andrew, this isn't, like, his most dominant debates, but it's also kind of like a stupid topic. This video, yeah, I'm going to post it, but yeah, there's better ones. So go ahead and check out some of the other ones. Thanks for watching MurrayMax. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want. Have a good day.